In this video, I'm gonna show you how to build an animated website using AI. From finding visual inspiration to generating 3D animations. No templates, no framer, no webflow, and honestly, I barely touched the code myself. The AI did the heavy lifting. By the end, you will see the workflow I used to go from idea to an animated site. The most important thing is that you try to think beforehand, like what type of website do you want to make, which I haven't done yet. So let's start off with that before we actually go and grab some elements. Let's go to ChatGPT and say, hi, I want to use AI to create a landing page. And for this, I need a brief. I basically want you to take the role of a CEO from a company that just launched and they need a website. Now, you need to come up with the name. You need to come up with what the company does. Just to give me a brief that you would give to somebody to build a website for you. Let's see what it comes up with. Lumen Reach, marketing automation for service businesses. Interesting. Now, this is a good brief, man. Now, based on the design, right? So I'm just going to say I am going to pull different elements from Dribble that I can basically feed to the AI so that it can build this website. So what I need from you is you gave me a very good brief. Give me all the design aspects, you know, that you mentioned, like the dark background and all that stuff. Let's just type in dark sash landing page. I hate it when the fucking camera does this, man. Stop! Now, let's just grab some images that we would think that look cool, right? We were talking about a marketing automation for service businesses. Let's see. So I guess a database would be perfect. So let's take this as an example. So we grab this. Then we go over here. So this is Firefly boards, if you have never heard of it. Very, very good. I like it to, get some concepts going on. Let's see. But now we also kind of need like some cards and all that stuff. Oh my God, I actually like that too. That is great. Grab this. We need to make sure that we're creating something original, just inspired. Basically, like it always happens, right? I actually like these cards right here. So I'm guessing I'm just taking these cards, right? Because honestly, it confuses it if you take too much stuff. Kind of like this too. Not sure how it would integrate that, but like that's not a question for us, eh? I think you understand the gist of it. So I'll just gather these images and come back once I have them all. We have gathered some information on this. So now we actually need to build this, right? So I am actually going to use Claude for this. And I'm going to do it this way. I don't like through Claude, recording the voice. I don't like it. So I'm just doing it through ChatGPT as if I'm talking to Claude. Hey, Claude, I have a brief for a web design. I'm going to show you the brief. And then step by step, we're going to build a landing page. I already assembled imagery so we can get to the desired result. What's very important is that you keep going back from the actual inspiration images that I'm going to give you and the actual brief. So keep in mind, the brief is what's leading. So if I give you an image of, for example, with orange colors and in the brief it says blue, you will always go for blue. But you take inspiration from the graphics from the actual image. Now, what's also important to know is that there is going to be an animation in this. So in the hero section, in the background or whatever, there will be an element that is going to be animated. But first, we're going to create the skeleton basically of the website, and then we'll add the imagery and the animation to it later on. So we gave it this, then we add the brief to it. Very important. Let's see, company brief from the CEO. There we go. Then we also add, there we go. Now it's just a matter of time, eh? Let's see what it comes back with. If you want me to turn these into real life websites in breakdance, drop a comment and I'll make a follow-up. Oh, and like the video and subscribe if you want to see more website content. It came back with this. So it already made an animation, what I specifically told it not to do. So it has a dashboard, which is quite cool. Now, there's a couple of things that I genuinely do not like about this. So first of all, it's the font. Like this looks way too playful. It's not good. It's bad. This has to be smaller, like way smaller. because we want this to be visible over here. So let's tell it a couple of things. First of all, the heading font is way too playful. I need something that resembles SAS. So what I need you to do is to make that more modern, make it more bold, and also very important, like give it a little hint of futurism. You know, the body font can stay the same, make sure it matches though. Also the heading way too big, because I want the dashboard to actually be visible as soon as somebody lands on the page. Doesn't have to be fully visible, but like when they land on the page, the dashboard should be visible for at least 50%. Then lastly, the background is not good. You're animating stuff, even though I specifically told you not to animate anything yet, because that will come in a later stage. So kindly get rid of the whatever that is in the background that's animating, and just give it a nice gradient, just like the image that I have provided for you. Let's see what it comes back with, eh? All right, we got it back. Let's check this out actually. Okay, so it did a pretty good job. I still find this font to be too friendly. Book a demo, start a free trial. You know, it listened, because that's actually what the brief said we should point to. All right, now let's go to the next one. What I actually need you to do now is I need you to find competitors to the brief's niche. So that's marketing leads automation, I think. Find me 3 competitors with URLs that I can just control click on and open. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so let's see. Dude, this fucking rooster, man. Jesus fucking Christ. He has such a fucking bad timing, man. It's always when I'm recording. Hey, man! Shut up! For the next section, I want you to take inspiration from image 1, but obviously, again, you have to look at the brief to know how to word it. But I want you to look at image 1 and take inspiration from the next section. And then I want you to look at image 2 and kind of merge them together. Use image 2 as a design and image 1 as the context, the content, you know, the things that are going to be spoken about. But again, customized for the company that we're actually building. All right, the prompt has been given, and I'll be back when it's done. All right, look, I don't want to say that I'm not scared, but I am. This is actually crazy. Are you ready for this? Look at this. How it works, one system, every lead captured and closed. Okay, so the one thing that is weird is that there is something behind it. I don't know what that is, so it has to fix that. We need to fix that. I'm gonna tell this to Claude. I am going to paste that image in there. Then I'm going to ChatGPT and do the transcribing. So the image on the right, basically with the light streak in the middle. So you have an icon on the left with like a radial, I don't know, outburst around it. I like that. But in the background, it basically says ads. You can see that it's overlapping. Can you please fix that? Like, I think you should just get rid of the icon on top with the radiating glow, whatever that is, and just keep ads in the background. Then also, I think it would look way cleaner if you shove the icon with book and call book CRM synced a little bit below, you know, so it kind of has the same distance between the icons and your traffic. You know, like it looks better and has more balance. But outside of that, looks very good what you've built. So please make those changes. We can even try to animate those things, right? Like maybe this is the thing though. Animations should not be used because they look nice. Animations should be used for a reason. So for example, if you look at this, right, the thing that you want people to see is that this is the traffic and that they get to this book, you know, like so that they book. So if you highlight this one, have like a pulsating effect on this, you know, that there's like a glow pulsating, or maybe this green thing over here. Or whatever, you know, so that the focus will be on this. Yeah, so I fixed this design because this part right here was all the way on top of this, but it was supposed to be in the middle. That's exactly what it does right now. It's in the middle. So now let's go to the third part of the design. Personalized email marketing. Okay, powerful SMS messaging. Okay, so this is quite necessary. It's kind of like highlighting everything that the platform has to offer. So we do need a section like this though. Let's copy this to Claude. And then we're going to check like, how are we going to do that? I think this is the perfect opportunity for that. You know, something like this, it doesn't have to be these weird ass. And then maybe if you hover over it, like over the icons that are going to appear from this. Hey Claude, now for the next section, I have provided 3 images for you. The first 2 are basically, again, the context. So this is where where we explain what this platform has to offer, just like in the first two images that I've provided for you. Now, with the third image, that is kind of the idea that I want to go through. So for the first two images, as you can see, they have like very big images with some text integrated into it with a gradient in the background. And when you hover over it, it kind of has this effect that the gradient in the background becomes more prominent. Now, my idea is, instead of having it like that, I want to use the third image to kind of have like the middle, you know, which should be the logo of Lumen Reach. And then we have like these connectors to other icons that basically explain everything that this platform automates for marketers. And my idea behind that is like, you have these icons and maybe we can kind of like animate these icons to really slowly go from left to right, maybe up and down a little bit, but not too harsh, just a very subtle animation. And then when people hover over it, it kind of has like a pop-up that appears. So I'm gonna let this run and I'll come back to you when it's, look at that, man. That is good. Look at this. You know, and the cool thing is that it even stays on brand with this. Now, I do want to tell it to center it a little bit more, or to balance it out a little bit more. Hey, Claude, I really like what you did, but I do notice that the left side is longer than the right side. So I would appreciate it if you actually balance that out, so the strings on the left side and the right side have the same length. And also like the distribution of the icons, make sure they're both the same on the left and the right. Look at that, and it's even... Okay, that's fucking good though. All right, let's go to the next section. Okay, so what we need now is we basically need a part with some testimonials, I guess. So let's grab this as an example. And then let's say, hey Claude, so I just uploaded a image with some cards in this style. I want you to create a testimonial section and obviously also add a a heading to the section that kind of is similar to the rest of the design. Make a nice testimonial section out of this. And I think what we can do as well is immediately after that, let's create a last call to action, and then image number 2 is inspiration for you to create the footer out of. So basically with this one prompt that I'm giving you right now, you will finish the landing page. So it should be done now. Okay, I don't know what it did over here though. What is that? Look at what the fuck we have just built. Now for this next part, I am going to use Nano Banana to generate the images that I need later on to animate in VO 3.1. All right, this is perfect actually. So we have 2 of these. Let's download the first one. Let's download the second one. Now let's go over here, frames to video. And this time I'm going to use ChatGPT. I want to create a landing page animation. So I've provided 2 images for you. So basically my idea behind this animation is that as soon as someone lands on the page, the person will see the first image. The idea behind this is to kind of like grab their attention by like this quick burst of light emitting from these line of networks. And as soon as that is done, it shouldn't take too long. It's just like a quick burst, and then it slowly transitions smoothly into the image number 2, and from there on out it should just loop continuously. So what I want you to do is give me an actual prompt that I can use in VEO 3.1, so that VEO 3.1 actually knows how to kind of like make this animation for me. Okay. Oh man, hold on. All right, this prompt is ass. Please make the prompt a little bit more subtle. You mentioned a surge of light or lightning creating a strong attention grabbing flash. That is too much, leave words out like creating a surge of lightning or whatever, because it actually created lightning in the beginning. All right, let's try this again, eh? Kind of like that though. That's great. Hold on, let's download that. All right, what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a new folder. We're gonna call this, let's say, Lumen Assets. Then we're going to grab this video and we're actually going to dump that in there. All right, so I just downloaded the last version of this. I actually want to drag this in here as well. And then we're gonna tell it to add to local host. All right, so still some fixes have to be done. But let's first start with the animation. Hey Claude, I have added a file in Lumen Assets, which I will tag in the chat. I basically want this video to be looped in the hero section of this website that I just shared with you and that you put in the local host. So I need you to integrate that into the hero section and loop it. So we're gonna do this, and then we're doing add, and then we go for create a short, that one. There you go. See, the cool thing about this is though, look, I genuinely like this. I do think it happens a little bit too much. You know, it happens too quick. So basically what it should do this, and then it should go over to this and never change back to that, you know? But outside of that, I am really liking what I see. Now we have to fix this part, which I think I might have said to Claude over here, but actually, hey Claude, that's perfect. Now I would like you to make one last edit to this. So if you go over to the last call to action, there's a gradient down below, but this gradient is kind of like cutting off on the side. So you can see a very harsh edge. Can you make sure that that becomes a radial gradient that doesn't get cut off, so it actually shines light on the CTA buttons? I want it to be a smooth radial gradient. Yeah, that's it. Let's just grab this, put that in here and see what it says. Oh, and by the way, what I'm using here is this is called the Visual Studio Code. Done. Here's what changed. Oh my god. Okay, that is actually sick, man. And that's the full workflow I use to go from an idea to an animated website using AI. If you want to see me turn this into an actual website in breakdance, let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, you might enjoy this video too.